Hello, my name is Mitch Arnold. I'm a UX design student at Career Foundry, and today I'm going to be answering a few short questions about my portfolio review for the latest achievement. So I'll start with the first question. What do I need answered before I start designing an experience? So far from the first two projects I've worked on, the most important question I need answered is what is the purpose of the app? What are we going to be developing in terms of features, and how will they be meeting the needs of users? Also would like to know what kind of users it's for. Um, is there a market for an app like this? Are there people out there where they have a problem that this app would solve? Um, and then also, what kind of features would distinguish this app from similar competitors in the market and be better able to meet the needs of potential users that that other similar apps or products already being offered cannot. Next question is, did I design my flows with different start points? In other words, not just onboarding, sign up, forgot password, etc. For this question, I would have to say no, not necessarily. Something I hadn't thought about a lot in the few user flows that I've done. Mostly started with essentially right from scratch, started with like a sign up and right to onboarding, or I kind of jumped ahead of that and just started from the home screen, whether or not a user had not signed up previously or already signed up and was just opening the app for the umpteenth time on their phone. Definitely something I'll consider going forward, though, the various start points that are less common than just opening the app itself and signing up. Third question is, can I describe a time when the requirements changed in the middle of a project and how I handled that? Again, at the moment, I don't think there's anything that this brings to mind that from these two projects I can say I experienced. I do think it's really important to know the requirements up front, make sure you're reading thoroughly, taking notes on what you need to be doing and making sure that you're meeting those requirements. I would say there's things that I've definitely had to revise, based on what my tutor has commented on my tasks, and they usually align with things that I had kind of already been thinking through the process, but wasn't, I guess, fully committing to providing like those additional details. So I've definitely revised a lot, changed my own mind and opinion on certain requirements that I had been meeting for tasks, but at the moment, I don't think there's been a major shift in what a project has been asked of me that I've had to suddenly pivot and make big changes. Not something that I don't assume won't happen frequently in the future. Just at the moment, I think from these tasks, they're pretty straightforward. So, lastly, is what are the design tools in your tool belt? And in what situations do you use one tool or method over another? Do you sketch with paper and pen? Will you be ready to prototype something? Um, I think I've got a lot of resources thus far developing, personas, task flows, user flows, a little bit of wireframing and prototyping, but I look forward to getting into that more in the upcoming achievements. But right now, my tools are a little more limited. I definitely do use pen and paper quite a bit. I try and make those real legible when I can because I know it's very important that people can actually follow the work, and handwriting, can be sloppy sometimes for other people, but I do uh, place a pretty strong emphasis on making it clear and distinct. Other tools, we have used Marvel a little bit, but it's been a little while since the first project. Sketch I have not used, or InVision, but do look forward to learning more about those. Figma I have a vague familiarity with, mostly from tutorials I've watched, but I do have a pretty strong experience in Illustrator, and it seems to offer similar type tools. Obviously, they're not um, made for like web and digital design applications as much for Illustrator, where it's a little bit more print based. But I do think that'll be helpful knowing kind of the shortcuts and the tools that translate from one to the other. So look forward to learning more about Figma. I know a little bit more in Creative Cloud, like Photoshop and InDesign, but I haven't used XD yet, so I am excited to move forward with a lot of those. More of just using what I can right now as resources I already own, as opposed to some of these, which are subscriptions or costs additionally. But I do look forward in the future to adding more tools, learning the processes a little bit more thoroughly, so I can start to see what stands out best for me personally and start to implement those into my tool belt and go back to tried and true methods that I've found have worked, but that will come up with experience for sure, which I look forward to developing. Thanks very much for listening. See you in the next